Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Biolab, and this is Vamsi here at Biolab. And yes guys, how are you? How are you doing? Come on. Yes, hope everything is going great and New Year is within just 2 days ahead. Yes, so excited. Not even 2 days, it is just one day ahead. Yes, it is 30. Today is 30, 31st, and day after tomorrow is your New Year. And 31st night, party begins. Yes, wish you all a very happy new year in advance. Hope this brings joy in your life. Hope this brings joy in your life. This new year. Advance happy new year, guys. If the video comes on that day, the wishes video, it's well and good. If not, now in advance. Okay. Today we will be doing with the second part of the female reproductive system, that is your mammary glands, and also we will be doing the oogenesis part. Okay, mammary glands, there is nothing to remember, nothing to worry. Okay, it is given in your ncrt, small line which can trick you much. The line that can trick you is, wait, let me move this up. Yes, no. In your NCRT, there is mentioning of one line that the functional mammary gland is a characteristic of all female mammals. This statement type question might trick you. Please underline this. Put a star mark in your NCRT. Open page number 47. The first paragraph of the page says, the first paragraph, first lines, if you read, they say that functional mammary glands are the characteristic feature of all female mammals. Now this makes matter. This makes everything. This word females changes the whole sentence. Let me just move away from the screen now, right? The functional mammary glands is a characteristic of all female mammals. Not all mammals, but all female mammals. This question might trick you. They can ask you that the statement 1, they can ask you the functional mammary gland is the characteristic of all mammals. That would be wrong. The functional mammary gland is a characteristic feature of only female mammals, not all mammals. All female mammals, only all female mammals, but not mammals. Please be very careful while reading this statement, especially near your female and all. That is very important, guys. Okay, this is the line, the first line. Underline it, put a star mark. Okay, now coming into these mammary glands are also called, okay, these mammary glands are also called as breasts. There is a high layer and region of fatty tissue which is deposited. High layer of fatty tissue is deposited here. Understand? Now, where they are present, they are generally present in the chest region here. In the thoracic chest region, they are present. Now, this is in glandular tissue. This mammary gland is a modification. It is a modification of sweat glands. I'll be writing it. Glandular tissue. It secretes something. That is why it has possessed the ability of glandular. It has possessed that very futuristic name glandular. Okay, now this is a modification of this point is very important. Modification, and again examiner may play with you here. They can ask you mammary glands are the modifications of sweat glands, sebaceous glands, both A and B, none. Okay, I have given you my own four options. The examiner might give you anything. So they are the modifications of sweat glands. Sorry, yes, leave it. Sweat glands, modifications of sweat glands. I hope this is not given in your ncrt. Remember this point, it is important. Even though some points aren't being given in our ncrt, we have to remember some, not all. Please do not get completely diverged from ncrt. Please do not get completely diverged from ncrt, but stick to ncrt. Stick to ncrt very strictly, but just diverge a little in order to understand your knowledge, in order to understand your concept, in order to make your concept very clear, very base. So the very basic knowledge that we have is enough, and nothing we have got nothing much to do with the extra points which is given in some other materials. Let us remove it. Let us strictly confine to our ncrt. I hope you have underlined that word which I have, the lines which I have told you. So see that first paragraph lines here. These lines are very important, by which the examiner can play with you. Okay, yes, I hope this is clear. Wait, let me just enlarge my camera. Okay, I hope this point is very clear to you. Very clear. Thumbs up. Like the video, guys. Like the video if you like it. Yes. This was the first time which I have told you to like the video in between the session. Okay, let's leave that. Let us come to our topic today. That is your mammary glands, and here mammary glands contain alveoli like lungs where the milk is produced. And during which time the milk is produced, we will be seeing in the last topic, that is parturition and lactation. There will be seeing the original time period where the milk is being produced and the hormones which influence the production of milk. Actually, ejection of milk is done through oxytocin ejection. Ejection of milk is through oxytocin, but whereas production of milk production of milk done by prolactin, PRL. Yes, pituitary hormone, prolactin. These are the two hormones which help in the formation. One is for the formation of milk, and the second one is for your ejection of your milk out from the mammary glands. Actually, milk is produced in your alveoli of your mammary glands. Now from there there are a series of tubules, there are a series of ampullas, there are a series of ducts which help in the carrying of this milk to the nipples. It is the and tip of your mammary gland. See, if this is your mammary glands, observe the diagram given in ncrt. If this is your mammary gland, this part is your nipple. This part is your nipple. That is your place where the baby sucks from where the baby sucks the milk outside. And this ejection, this contraction of the mammary glands is done by oxytocin. Whenever the baby's lips come close in contact to the nipples, then the stimulation of oxytocin happens, and this oxytocin helps in the secretion of milk out of the nipples. Okay, from the mammary glands. Actually, here there are alveoli. What's the diagram? Actually, those are ribs, and ribs after we have here. Yes, those are your ribs. We have fat. This is all the adipose tissue, the fatty tissue, and here you have your alveoli. Which okay. These are your alveoli. This blue color one. Now, after the production of milk in the alveoli, you have to follow a series of tubules and ducts and ampullas. Now, how to remember this? So, there was a trick which our sir told us, that is to remember TDA. Have you ever remembered TDA? What is TDA? Tobacco, drug abuse. Tobacco, drug abuse, that comes under your human health and disease, tobacco, drug abuse, TDA. TDA. Now, TDA, what is in connection with the TDA trick? Trick is that T means tubules. First tubules come. See, after alveoli, what happens is tubules come. Tubules, whatever may be the tubule name, but tubules come first. Tubules come first. The second one is D. What is meant by D? Ducts come. After tubules, the milk passes through the ducts. After ducts, it passes through the ampulla. Ampulla, remember, wherever you have heard the word ampulla, it is a combination of two or more ducts. Actually, you can also hear this ampulla near the sphincter of OD. That is the place where your pancreatic juice enters the stomach. This is sphincter of OD, and at this sphincter of OD, when two ducts meet together, we call that place as ampulla of Vater. Okay, that place, ampulla. There are two ducts which meet together and form a common duct, and the place where these two ducts are meeting, or the place many ducts are meeting, we call it as ampulla. Generally, this is not your ampulla which is present in your fallopian tube. In your fallopian tube also you have one ampulla which is just a bend or curve. Okay, okay, got it? Okay, am I blocking this? If I am, let me just again come small. This is better. Got it? Very clear, guys? Very clear? If not, if you have any doubt, please let me know. Now here you have an exception. After this ampulla, there is one duct which comes, that is you called as your lactiferous duct. Lactiferous duct, it comes after ampulla. It connects ampulla to your nipples. After this, lactiferous duct follows your nipples, and this is the end for your female reproductive system, and this also comes under the female external genitalia. Got it? Mammary glands. The mammary glands actually release colostrum from in a month or so after the baby's birth. That will be talking in your lactation and parturition part. Now we have got nothing to do with it. Now let's come to your oogenesis part. The very important part, oogenesis, the gamete formation part is your oogenesis. Actually, here it is not much easier as if we have done in our spermatogenesis. Not that easier, but you have to understand little. You have to understand a little. Actually, if you understand, it is very simple. It is very simple. To make it simple, I have written some of the points through which I can tell you. Actually, these points I will not be providing to you. The writing is so worse. So, we'll be moving on now. Put the side heading, guys. Put the side heading. Side heading Mardalo. Okay. Start with Oogenesis. As you all know, we are completing parallel with your reproductive tract and uh, gametophy, gametogenesis. We are completing in track. So now let us start with oogenesis. Oogenesis, it is the formation of the process of formation of female gamete. Actually, spermatogenesis starts at the time of puberty, but the oogenesis starts in the embryonical stages. This is the very first point that you have to remember. Embryonical stages starts in the embryonical stages only. Starts in the embryonical stages only. Actually what happens is when the fetus is in your embryonic stage, when the fetus is in your embryonic stage, there are millions of oogonia. Oogonia are the structures in which oocyte is produced. Okay, there are millions of oogonia before the time of birth. Oogonia, millions. There are millions. There are millions of Ugonia which are present at the time of before the time of birth. Okay, and these Ugonia are also called as gamete mother cells. Ugonia, Ugonia are also called as gamete mother cells. These are millions. These are in millions during the embryonical development stages. There are couple of millions during the embryonical development stages. But at the time of birth, when the fetus reaches, the puberty, there are only 60 to 80,000 remaining. And after the birth, there is no new oogonia is gonna added or added. No new. This point is very important, guys. Okay, oogonia is added after birth. No new oogonia is added after birth. Very important point. Write it down. This from there. Okay, here. No, the camera is no. Yes, no new oogonia is added after the time of birth. This point is very important and it is very clearly written here in your ncrt. Underline it, put a star mark in your ncrt itself. Okay, this starts at the time of your embryonic development only, not at your puberty. Now that was your first difference between spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Now the second thing is, will be now coming into your oogenesis part. Oogonia, actually, see, I'll be drawing your flow chart. Oogonia. It actually enters your meiosis 1, and it gets arrested at your prophase 1. In your meiosis 1, it gets arrested. I'm using the terminology which is given in your ncrt itself, since there should not be any confusion to you. It gets arrested in the prophase 1 itself. Now no more division occurs. Once this oogonia enters the meiosis 1 and stops near the prophase 1, that results in the formation of your primary oocyte. Now primary oocyte is formed as a result of first meiosis prophase 1. Now at the prophase 1, this oogonia stops dividing. It does not complete its meiosis 1. It completes its meiosis one later. It just stops there. It just stops there, and it forms the primary oocyte. Now the changes start in the primary oocyte. The changes start in the primary oocyte, and this primary oocyte is gonna convert into a follicle, a Graphian follicle. Okay, this primary oocyte, for example, this is your primary oocyte, which is your primary oocyte, and this primary oocyte is diploid since it haven't completed your meiosis. It didn't complete your meiosis. It got arrested in the prophase 1 itself. Got arrested in the prophase 1. It hasn't completed your meiosis. No meiosis is completed, so diploid thing only this primary oocyte. Now what happens is this primary oocyte develops a new layer of cells called as granulosa cells. Actually, if this is your primary oocyte, it develops a single layer, not many, single layer of granulosa cells. These are your granulosa cells. This is your primary oocyte, and while this primary oocyte is just converting into secondary oocyte, it develops many uh, what granulosa cells. Now this primary oocyte, what it does is, the primary oocyte remains the same since it got arrested in the prophase 1. I am repeating the point again and again and again so that it gets feeded in your brain. Wherever it is possible, I am repeating that point. It got arrested. Primary oocyte is a result of an arrest of prophase 1. Incomplete development has happened. Incomplete division. No division has occurred. Now this primary oocyte tries to form many granulosa cells around itself, and it finally forms a small, not a small, it is just a layer called as the theca. Now a new thing has appeared. Theca. And the primary oocyte with one single granulosa cells, one single layer of granulosa cells, is called as your primary follicle. Now the primary oocyte is gonna gradually convert into follicles. How? Through through sequential steps. The primary oocyte, which is having only a single layer of granulosa cells here, is your primary follicle. That is the point number 1 which you have to remember. Now when this primary follicle is converting into secondary follicle, it actually develops many layers of granulosa cells, and the theca around it. Theca is a protective layer, and this is called as secondary follicle. Okay, this is called as secondary follicle. And new theca, they can ask you the follicular stage where theca is formed. Secondary follicle. Where theca is found. Secondary follicle. Where theca is developed. Secondary follicle. Okay, got it? Now the primary oocytes remains as it is. The granulosa cells increase a little bit. The theca differentiates into external and internal, and it forms a cavity inside, not the theca but the granulosa cells. And now this part which is changed is called as your tertiary follicle. See how the primary oocyte developed a single layer of granulosa cells around it, and it has gone converted into primary follicle, and this primary follicle has developed more granulosa cells and a new theca, and it has got converted into secondary follicle, and this secondary follicle is developing a space called as antrum, fluid filled cavity called as antrum. See, I am going to show you that antrum now. How this antrum looks. Primary oocyte. This primary oocyte remains the same as I told. Now Here I haven't drawn any granulosa cells. Here I haven't drawn any granulosa cells. This is your antrum cavity. Antrum. This fluid filled cavity is called as your antrum. And this tertiary oocyte which is there here, it can be, uh, seen with the help of this antrum. It can be identified if the antrum is present. If the antrum is present, then you can say that secondary follicle has developed into tertiary follicle. And now after developing this antrum, it forms theca externa and theca interna. Actually it differentiates theca into two layers, externa and interna. Externa, theca externa and theca interna. Okay. Now the thing is, after this, our hero comes again. Our meiosis 1 has got resumed there in prophase 1. Sorry, it has got paused there. Now it resumes here. Now meiosis 1 continues. Meiosis occurs. Meiosis 1 occurs, resumes. It has got arrested there. Now it has been released on bail. It has been released on conditional bail. It cannot go as itself into meiosis 2. There again about meiosis 2 we'll be talking about in the later videos, not now. Now this meiosis 1 resumes, and this primary oocyte which is present inside has gone now converted into secondary oocyte, which is haploid secondary oocyte, not follicle. Now do not confuse between this and secondary oocyte and first polar body. Now here unequal division has occurred. Unequal division. Why are we calling it as first? Is there any second polar body? Yes, there is a second polar body, but we do not require it now. We'll be talking about it in the later videos. This is your first polar body, where it is formed due to the resuming of meiosis 1 after the formation of tertiary oocyte. Okay, now this is secondary oocyte and the first polar body remain in the follicle, and now this tertiary follicle get converts into the final stage, that is your Graphian follicle. The Graphian follicle is your last stage of your follicular development, and at the time of LH, what happens is this LH hormone stimulates is stimulated, and it gets released and ruptures this Graphian follicle in order to release the ovum outside. That will be talking in the menstrual cycle in the next video. And I hope this is clear to you. This is very clear. If not, you can just rewind it and watch it and come back. And this is Vamsi signing off, guys. If you like the video, please hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel Biolab India. Wait. And let me get enlarged. Why is this going like this? Don't select this. Yes. Please hit that like button very hard and also subscribe to our channel Biolab India. And this is Vamsi signing off, guys. And again, wish you a very happy new year to all of you, to all of our family, Biolab family, and I hope New Year goes well with all, and our preparations complete in the New Year before the NEET exam, that is your May 7th. And I also in advance, wish you luck for your preparations for your NEET exam and your boards exams. Also, I hope the 12th class, CBSE board exam dates were released. Yes, 10th and 12th both were released. I hope it was from Feb. It goes from Feb to the March. Yes, I hope you will prepare it, and also all the best for your CBSE board exams, and also we AP state students have also got our date sheets, and our exams also will be conducted soon. And I also wish you all the best. Thank you. Have a great day further, guys. This is Ramzi signing off. Please subscribe to our channel.